So it's 2023, and to kick this new year off right, I would like to talk about family reunification strategies. So, what's going on, folks? For those that don't know me, my name is Coach Denise. I am the owner and principal consultant of Never Stop Growing Coaching and Consulting. It's a coaching practice that believes in rewriting your narrative in order to expand what's possible. For January's post, I want to talk about reunification strategies, particularly around family visitation. And so this video is aimed at supporting child welfare and juvenile justice professionals in reimagining how to engage families in their family time and make it really meaningful. So if we think about the purpose of these visitations, it is, of course, to keep the families together. And in keeping the families together, we want to try to create a sense of normalcy of what it's going to look like when the children go back home. So there's been a lot of work on both the parents' part at this point and the youth's part at this point that bring them into a space of what was may no longer serve the family's present needs. So how do we respond to what is? Well, it's through intentional visitation. Now, with intentional visitation, what I mean by that is encouraging caretakers and parents to really start thinking about how do you identify the interests and desires of your kids? What are their new passions and hobbies during this time of separation? And what might that look like for them to try to continue some of this going forward? When parents are visiting with their kids, having real conversation about what their day was like and what their feelings are, right? Some of this repair work, when a child is out of home, is placed out of the home, some of the repair work that often doesn't get taken care of is allowing the parent and the child to have some real one-to-one time where they're not just so happy to see each other that they're just doing the fun things, but that they're also taking real time out to explore what the separation felt like. What thoughts and feelings came up for both the parent and child during this time, and what repair work looks like now for them to strengthen their relationship in such a way that it moves them forward stronger than what it was before the separation happened. And that may look like helping parents learn how to ask questions of their children that may be difficult for them to ask, preparing them to hear responses that they may not have ideally wanted to hear. If the parent visits are happening at the agency, then helping to create environments. Maybe there's group activities for families to come to at the agencies where there's conversations that happen. And then staff can be there to support their families in asking questions, receiving information, and being able to share with their children what they're thinking and feeling during this time of separation as well. And let me get a little bit more specific. Maybe one time out of the month, agencies can have a group visit where you bring in families together and all of the case planners get together and come up with a couple of questions that they want to share out to the parents to ask. Call the parents on the phone or during a home visit, go over some of these questions to let them know what it is in advance so that they can prepare to be both caretaker and this social emotional champion for their young person during the visit. Other ideas that come into play when we're talking about family time is having conversations with parents about how to seek out resources in the areas that they're going to be visiting. So that way they can engage in some meaningful time while exploring what the neighborhoods have to offer. Beyond the parks and libraries, there are a host of different things that happen throughout the towns and the cities. And so getting online, using social media as a tool to learn more about what's available is also a great way for parents to start having conversations with their children about different ideas and things to get into when they're meeting together. Oftentimes we'll hear parents say, we're going to the movies, or we're gonna play some games, or just go to the park. How about finding out if there is an event happening, a family day event happening at a local restaurant or a community center nearby. Seeing what's available and helping parents to reimagine that family time can take some of the boring, mundane actions out of it. We all know, we often don't want to say it, but watching families get together and try to figure out what they can do with their children in an hour or 2 hours time can become pretty routine. And over time, visits start to become less frequent because both the parent and children don't know what to do. So having conversations beyond just passing out papers that inform them of what's going on in the neighborhood, but having conversations with parents to help them learn how to seek out their own resources would go a long way. So now let's revisit what we have. Having conversations about where the parent and child are post removal, post out of home placement. Second thing is using the resources in the community to engage both youth and caretakers in meaningful family time. And the third one that I want to present is one where we start talking about hope for the future. Start talking to the parents and youth about what it would look like when they're back home together, what things they want to do, what kind of family structures they would want to have, and start getting in the habit of practicing that routine now. Maybe regular check-ins would be a thing. You have an out-of-home placement that has happened for a couple of months. That's a disruption in the family system. When they come back together, you want to be able to make sure that you're creating a sustainable family structure, and communication is the key to that. So helping parents learn how to have conversations while they're still in reunification, in the reunification phase, having conversations that prepare them for when they're back home together is going to be key, because this is the time where they get to practice and they get to work out kinks with the support of the agencies around them helping them. Now, if you want more insight as to what this might look like and how you can do this in your program, then I'm going to want you to email me at the email address listed on your screen right now. In the meantime, watch this video a few times, share it with your friends in social services and juvenile justice, just to kind of really expand the way that we're thinking about this, okay? It's doable.